Welcome back, Devils fans. It is your host, Ace, here on Running with the Devils, where we are talking New Jersey Devils hockey all year long. Please hit that subscribe button, smash the like, share with a friend. Thank you very much. And lo and behold, my friends, here we are, the halfway point of the 24-25 season. 41 games played for your New Jersey Devils, and it seems like just yesterday we were all itching for the puck to drop in the preseason during the month of September, and here we are, early January. Your New Jersey Devils are officially at the halfway point. 41 of 82 games have been played, and I'm here to take a look at the events and how the team is doing thus far at the halfway point of the 24-25 NHL season, and we'll start off in the division. I know a lot of you are down right now. We're on a 3-game losing streak. I believe in the boys. These things happen over the course of a long season, little bumps in the road. We're experiencing one right now. Hopefully, the New Jersey Devils come out tomorrow against the Sharks and lay the absolute smackdown to get back in the win column, and I'm expecting a big performance from the boys. But we look at the Metropolitan division, and again, because we've played multiple games more than every other team, I cannot go with the point standings. It makes no sense. So I always look at the standings by points percentage, and your New Jersey Devils are in third right now in the Metro with a .622 points percentage. Devils with 41 games played are 24-14-3 for 51 points. And while these last 3 games have been a disappointment, overall, you must be happy with the improvement we've seen under General Sheldon Keefe thus far this season. The team looks much better. They're playing much better. Lots to be happy about. Obviously, this 3-game skid is unfortunate, but overall, the team looks much, much better. And we'll get into all the reasons why in a little bit. Then we look at the Carolina Hurricanes with a .632 points percentage. Through 38 games played, they are 23-13-2 with 48 points. And in the number 1 spot, still holding it down, despite slipping just a little bit as of late, the Washington Capitals with a .697 points percentage through 38 games played. They are 25-10-3 for 53 points. And I fully expect it to be a dogfight probably into the last week of the season to determine who will win the Metro. I think the Devils, Canes, and Caps will all be clawing for the division title. I think it's going to be a tight race. I think it could come down to the last week, maybe even the last couple of games. And who knows, maybe your New Jersey Devils could get it done. But if not, they're going to be right there, I believe, till the very end. Then we look where the Devils currently stand in the entire Eastern Conference. And they are firmly in 4th right now. Again, .622 points percentage with both the Canes and Caps in our division, obviously ahead of us in the conference. And the only team from the Atlantic ahead of the Devils as far as points percentage goes is the Toronto Maple Leafs with a .641 points percentage. Through 39 games played, they are 24-13-2 for 50 points. So the Devils are right there. They are right there amongst the best in the East. I expect the second half to play out very similar to how the first half did, and we will see. But through 41 games played right now, your New Jersey Devils are on pace for 102 points. I'd ideally like to see them closer to 110, obviously. I think that gives us the best chance to win the division. But we're heading into the stretch now. Once January gets going, and then once you get into February, teams are thinking about playoffs, and some teams are out there playing playoff hockey, clawing for their lives to either make the playoffs or improve their standing in the playoff race. And it's going to be a good one. We look at the entire National Hockey League, your New Jersey Devils in 10th in terms of points percentage. Holding down the number 10 spot, and then you look at the West. The West has some juggernauts. The Vegas Golden Knights with a .724 points percentage, with the Winnipeg Jets with a .700 points percentage, Minnesota Wild .667. The Wild really turned it around. Under former New Jersey Devil turned GM Billy Guerin. Shout out to Billy G for getting it done in Minnesota. Always loved Billy G as a player. A lot of you older fans will remember Bill Guerin from his time with your New Jersey Devils, including a 1995 Stanley Cup championship. And the LA Kings, we just played them the other day. Very tough team. They're at .662. Dallas Stars with a .635 points percentage. Edmonton Oilers with a .635. So the Devils are in the top third of the league. Nothing to scoff at. 10th in terms of points percentage, and I will take it. And we look at the halfway point of the last 2 seasons. So we take a step back and say, okay, this is where we are now. Where were we at this juncture last year? And then obviously the magical 22-23 season where the New Jersey Devils set a franchise record with 112 points before beating the Rangers in that beautiful 7-game series. We look at last season. Through 41 games played, the New Jersey Devils were 22-16-3, which is 47 points. Not too bad. Not great. 47 points was respectable at the halfway point last season with all the things that were going on, and then they fell apart in the second half, obviously, with the injuries and yada, yada, the goaltending. not going to dwell on last season. It's a season I'd like to forget about. And then we look at that magical 22-23 season. Through the halfway point, 41 games played in the 22-23 season, the Devils were 26-12-3 for 55 points, which had them on pace for 110 points, and they finished with 112, so they played very close in the second half, 2 points better than they did in the first half. But right now, the Devils at 51 points is smack dab in the middle. 51 is right in the middle of 47 and 55. So you look and you say, okay, right now they are currently right in the middle of where they were at this point last season, and then obviously our best season ever. I will gladly take that. Gladly take to be right in the middle of those two seasons. And I do expect a better second half from the Devils. Obviously got off to a little bit of a slow start. New system under Sheldon Keefe, new players, lots going on, lots to get adjusted to, lots to acclimate to. A lot of guys came over in the summer, new city, new teammates, new line mates, new everything. And here we are, 51 points halfway through. I will gladly take it. And then we look at one of the biggest reasons for the turnaround of this season from last is obviously the biggest problem we had last year, we all know, the goaltending. The goaltending last season was absolutely abysmal, and I hate to keep dwelling on it, but it was just painful. And a lot of that had to do with the defense. I don't want to just, slam the goalies. Obviously, the defense was very porous as well. But in conjunction with the porous defense, we had some very leaky goaltending, and it resulted in an ugly season for the Devils. But we look at last season, obviously you see Akira Schmid, Vitek Vanacek, Nico Dawes, and then at the deadline picked up Jake Allen and Capo Kakinen. I'm not going to go into, here's all their individual stats you could take a look at. But when you look at the team totals, a team save percentage of .896, which is brutal. Anything under 900 is brutal. And honestly, you would like to see, your team goaltending at around .910 or better would be ideal. .896, but even more brutal than the save percentage, we look at the team goals against from last season was .312. When you are giving up 3.12 goals per game in the National Hockey League, it is going to be very difficult to win hockey games. That is just the reality. And then obviously a single shutout last season, courtesy of Capo Kakinen, shut out the Islanders late in the season for our only shutout on the year. Sad numbers from last season for the goaltenders, obviously. And we look at this year, and it is night and day. To see legitimate NHL goaltending on a nightly basis, goaltenders that give you a chance to win each and every night is all the Devils fans were hoping for. And I'm sure a lot of the players as well. We look at this season, Jacob Markstrom and Jake Allen. Come on down, boys. What a season. Despite Jake Allen being on a little bit of a losing streak at the moment, a lot of it not his fault. He hasn't been getting great goal support in some of the games he started, including that one the other night against the Kings where we got shut out. Allen stood on his head. He deserved to win, and the team let him down. It is what it is, but we look, Jacob Markstrom, through 28 games played, is 19-7-2 with a save percentage of .912, a goals against of .215, and 3 shutouts. Jacob Markstrom, I could talk about this guy forever. I recently did a video on him. If you haven't seen it, check it out, just to talk about how great he has been for the Devils this season. But these are phenomenal numbers. I was stoked when the rumors came out last season that the Devils were looking to get Markstrom. I thought Markstrom would definitely provide at least a couple years of solid goaltending and give the chance the Devils to win. I'm a firm believer that this team is in their window to compete for a Stanley Cup right now. Why not us? There are no teams in the league that I could definitively say, oh, that team's way better than the Devils. It doesn't exist. These boys can compete with anyone. Coincidentally, we've seen them lose to anyone as well on some nights, bottom-feeding teams that are giving us difficulty in some of the games we lose. It is what it is. Hopefully that gets cleaned up. But Jacob Markstrom, an absolute stud, .912 save percentage, .215 goals against, 3 shutouts. He has been super hot as of late. And congratulations to Jacob Markstrom. He was named the 3rd star in the league for the month of December. 3rd star for December, Jacob Markstrom, the goaltender for your New Jersey Devils. Love to see it. And then we look at Jake Allen. Had a couple rough starts to kind of affect his numbers negatively, but a save percentage of .898 and a goals against of .283. Obviously, we'd like to see that save percentage go up and that goals against go down. But when you look at the team totals, the save percentage is .907, which is .011 higher than last year. But the biggest factor you look at here is the goals against. Right now, as a team, the Devils are 2.36 goals against average compared to last season's 3.12. That is almost .8 goals per game difference. Nearly a full goal. 0.8, not quite a full goal, but you're getting close there. 0.8 differential on the goals against is absolutely monstrous. Cannot be stressed enough. That 0.8 differential in goals against is huge and part of the reason for the turnaround and one of the many reasons that I am a huge believer in this 2024-2025 New Jersey Devils group. I believe special things are ahead, guys. I really do. 3-game losing streak, I'm not too worried. Bump in the road, teams go through this. Even all-time great teams have had little lulls in the season over the course of the year. It's an 82-game season. Lots of hockey left to be played. We're only at the halfway point. And then another staggering goaltender difference you see here. Jacob Markstrom with 3 shutouts thus far in the season. Jake Allen with 2. Your New Jersey Devils, 5 beautiful shutouts at the halfway point, where we only had 1 shutout all of last season. We're on pace to have 10 this year. That'd be phenomenal. 10 shutouts compared to 1 from last season. Night and day. This goaltending duo has solidified the net for your Devils, giving them the chance to win every night, and that's all we wanted, and you're seeing it on the ice. Now, on the flip side of this, I'd be remiss if I didn't discuss, when the offense goes cold, it is rather scary on some nights. The Devils have been shut out 6 times this season through 41 games. They are on pace to be shut out 12 times this season. I don't believe we get shut out 6 times in the second half. I mean, if they do, I'd be beyond scared. I don't think that will continue. Hopefully they find a way to get more balanced scoring. The power play could heat up and not go missing in action on some nights. And hopefully we only get shut out maybe 1 or 2 more times throughout the course of the year. But that is a cause for concern at this juncture, that some nights the offense just can't get it going and everyone says, oh, we get goal lead. That's got to improve. Getting shut out 6 times through 41 games is a mind-blowing stat. Probably the most mind-blowing stat thus far on the season for me is that the Devils were shut out 6 times. Completely crazy, but hopefully we get it going. Hopefully the bottom 6 wakes up a little bit and the Devils continue to roll on in the second half. We look at the special teams. We start off with the penalty kill. Your New Jersey Devils in 7th place league-wide right now with an 83.5% penalty kill. Got to win special teams. Special teams got to be good, especially in the playoffs. If you want to go far in this league, special teams got to be working. And right now, the Devils respectable 7th place in the penalty kill, 83.5%, and they're only trailing the number 1 team, the Hurricanes, by 2 percentage points. Very small differentials from 7 all the way to 1. Hurricanes number 1, 85.5. Hopefully, the Devils in the second half could tighten that up a little bit as well and continue to climb the ranks, for the penalty kill. And then we look at the power play. We saw an 0-for-6 performance against the Kings the other night. A very, very disheartening performance for the power play the other night, but they've been on fire for large chunks of the season. And as a result, the New Jersey Devils are in 2nd place in the National Hockey League with a 28.6% power play. Love to see the power play towards the top of the list, trailing only the Winnipeg Jets with a 32% power play. And again, the power play, on some nights they've won us games, and in some nights they've gone ice cold. And when we can't generate offense 5-on-5 and you can't get anything done on the power play, it results in a loss. Again, referring back to that Kings game the other night, 6 power plays. We were right there. That game was right there for the taking. Unfortunately, we had that goal waved off by timomeier with the nonsensical goaltender interference call on Stefan Nason. I actually made a video about the NHL goaltending interference calls and how troublesome it is league-wide. If you haven't seen that video, check it out. I'll put the link in the description for that as well. But special teams have been a bright spot for your New Jersey Devils. 7th in the penalty kill, number 2 in the power play. You absolutely love to see it. And then we go to the boys. How are the boys doing this season? We look at the top 10 scoring for a minute. Number 1 spot, Jesper Bratt. 41 games played, 14 goals, 33 assists for 47 points. 4 of those goals coming on the power play. A shorthanded goal for Jesper as well. He is on pace for 94 points. Would love to see Bratt or Jack get 100 points. Would be ecstatic to see them both get it. They're going to have to pick it up a little bit in the second half to reach those numbers. But right now, Bratt on pace for 94 points. We see Jack with 15 goals, 31 assists, 46 points. Jack on pace for 92. Needs 54 points in the second half to hit 100. Definitely possible. And I look for these guys, the top 2 guns. They got to get it done. They need to have big second halves to both of them. But when you look at Jack, the thing that interests me the most, obviously 5 goals on the power play. He is dangerous with the extra attacker. 6 game-winning goals for Jackhughes. 6 of his 15 goals, game-winning goals. Jack coming up big in big moments, and we are going to need number 86 to continue to do that for the second half of the season and into the playoffs. Big guns got to be big guns, and Jackhughes is a bazooka for the Devils. Nicohischier, our Selke Trophy candidate, hopeful winner as Defensive Player of the Year. Captain Nico's been getting it done all season as well. Started off white hot with the goals. And through 41, Nico has 18 goals, 16 assists for 34 points. He's a plus 12 and 2 game-winning goals for the captain. Love to see the captain, the heart and soul of the team. Amazing two-way player. Doesn't get the recognition he deserves. league-wide. I think he's starting to get a little bit more now as he gets, progresses in his career. I think more and more, pundits and commentators league-wide are appreciating what he brings to the Devils and the phenomenal hockey player that he is. But look for Nico for a big second half as well. And then my man timomeier. Always love me some Timo time. Through 40, Timo with 14 goals, 14 assists for 28 points. He is a plus 10. 3 power play goals and 2 game winners for Timo. You guys always know it's always Timo time on this channel. I've loved Timo since the day we got him. I do think he's a bull. Makes us very difficult to play against. We don't have too many other true power forwards like him in our lineup. I know a lot of people are down on him, and I'm here to tell you, a lot of people just look at the contract and, he makes all this money, and they expect 80, 90 points. I'm perfectly okay with timomeier, where he is right now. Play that heavy game, smash people, get in front of the net, get in people's faces. He has a little bit of that Claude Lemieux agitator in him, and I love Timo. I realistically was hoping for 60 points out of him coming into the year, and right now he's on pace for 56. If Timo has 55, 60 points and is an absolute menace and a pit bull on the ice, that is what we paid him for. We didn't pay him to come here and score 100 points. Obviously, that'd be phenomenal, but a 55, 60-point season from Timo with all the other intangibles that he brings to the Devils, love this man. I love the trade. I love the extension by Fitz. And timomeier, man, looking for a big second half from him. We saw a big march from him last season where he led the whole league in goals. Stefan Noesen, the junkyard dog, one of my favorite players on this roster, one of the greatest moves Fitz has made in his time as general manager of the Devils. Through 41 games played, Stefan Noesen with a career high already, 16 goals, 11 assists for 27 points, 7 goals on the power play, and 4 game-winning goals. Stefan Noesen, the junkyard dog, cannot sing this man's praises enough. I've been hyping him up all season long. He is a throwback hockey player, and I love this man. What an absolute value signing by Fitzy. I don't think anyone saw this coming. I had high hopes when we signed him in the summer. I thought he was going to bring a lot of that heavier, edgier, more violent play, a lot of sandpaper and grit in the bottom 6. I thought there was a chance, and I said this in the summer, that he would have a chance to audition in the top 6. And sure enough, Stefan Noesen is on a line with nicohischier, timomeier, and getting power play one time in front of the net. I mean, this guy's doing it all, smashing all expectations. What a signing by Fitz. Love Stefan Noesen. And then we get to number 6. It's a defenseman, Dougie. Dougie Hamilton with 5 goals, 20 assists for 25 points on the season. 4 power play goals for Dougie, and 2 of his goals are game winners. I do like Dougie. I know a lot of people have been down on him as well. I do think he's still not fully recovered from that severe pec injury he suffered last season. But guys, just remember what this team looked like when Dougie went down last season. The team went immediate nosedive. Sometimes Dougie's defensive play, I could see leaving something to be desired. Sometimes it looks like the hustle or effort's not there. But overall, I do think Dougie Hamilton is a very, very valuable piece of your New Jersey Devils. We've been seeing a lot of snapshots and wrist shots from the point. He has an absolute sniper of a shot when he's letting it go. We're not seeing as much as those Dougie bombs where he winds up and you see the crazy slap shots, but we're seeing a lot of him picking his spots and just ripping nasty wristers. Love this guy. He's on the ice for a lot of the Devils' goals, and I think he is going to be a big part of a playoff run for your New Jersey Devils. When we get to number 7, Dawson Mercer. 9 goals, 10 assists for 19 points through 41 games played. 2 power play goals for Dawson. 2 game-winning goals. And not too shabby for Dawson. Again, I think a lot of people are expecting monster numbers out of him. They're looking for him to have a career best year. But with the way he's utilized, he can be played in all situations. I like Dawson Mercer. High-energy guy. You could leave him out there to protect the lead. You could put him on the PK. He could play on the power play if you wanted him to. He could do it all. Brings the energy. I like Dawson. He's got a little bit of that dog in him, a little scrappy. And I think you need guys like this on your team, especially in the playoffs. Not everyone's going to have eye-popping offensive stats. And I think a lot of the fans are looking for every guy, every season to have career years. It's just not possible, guys. It's just not possible for every guy to have career years. Dawson now playing on the third line. A lot of people thought he would get top 6 minutes coming into the season. The way we've had to juggle the lines around, he's now settled on the third line for the time being. And I love Dawson. Love his game. Need guys like him. He has a role. He plays it well. Another big part of the team, and he's going to be a playoff monster. I have a good feeling about Dawson. Number 8, Lukehughes. 32 games played for Lukey boy. 3 goals, 14 assists for 17 points. One game-winning goal for Lukehughes, and what a turnaround defensively we've seen for young Lukehughes under General Sheldon Keefe. A lot of people last season were down on Luke because of some of the defensive things we saw. We saw what he could do offensively last year. I mean, the kid's amazing. He has a pretty good shot when he gets it off. His skating is elite. His vision is elite. His passing can be elite. And when he's out there, he's a danger. No matter what, he can create, especially when he starts coming in and getting activated in the offensive zone. Teams are aware. Kid's got wheels, and he is a danger every time he steps out there. Last season, we saw him maybe make some less than ideal decisions with the puck, or maybe pinching at the wrong times and getting caught, and we saw a lot of goals against when he was out there. Keefe has him playing strong defensive hockey, and that is a credit to both Sheldon Keefe, Lukehughes himself, and obviously his partner, the cool-handed Brett Pesce, the veteran, cool, calm, and collected back there. Brett Pesce has been a godsend for the New Jersey Devils, as well as Lukehughes. Couldn't ask for a better D partner for Luke as he continues to mature in the NHL, and it's been amazing. It's been an amazing pairing, as is our whole defense. I mean, I can't say enough about the defense as a whole, but the Lukehughes-Pesce pairing has been phenomenal. Luke is looking like a completely different guy defensively, and he's only going to get better. Still super young, just 21 years old. The sky is the limit for Lukehughes, and I am looking forward to seeing what he looks like in a couple years from now. He's just going to get better and better, guys. Love me some Lukehughes. Number 9, Andre Palat, my man Pally. 40 games played, 8 goals, 8 assists, 16 points. And he's been chipping in here and there, playing with the big dogs, playing with Jack and Jesper Bratt. A lot of people have been down on Pally just because of his contract. It is what it is. Pally, I think, does a lot of things that he might not get recognition for. You know, again, everyone looking at the points, goals, and assists. But he's a feisty, scrappy dude. He gets in the corners. He'll win wall battles, go for pucks. And he is very smart defensively. And you need someone like that when you have two guys like Jack and Jesper that are just so offensively gifted that sometimes they're going to have to go full blast. And you want that third guy to be a little bit more defensively aware. I think Palat is that guy. And hopefully playoff Palat comes out. He was signed for his production in the postseason, essentially. He had some monster playoffs, winning those cups with the Tampa Bay Lightning. Playoff Palat made some appearances in 22-23, and I am hoping for a monster playoff for Andre Palat in April, and hopefully through May and into June. Would love to see playoff Palat with this group just turn it up to another level and hopefully bring this New Jersey Devils team on a deep run. Number 10, Paulie. Paul Cotter started off the season red hot. I mean, looked like at one point he was on pace for like 70 points or something crazy. Love Paul Cotter. The definition of heavier, edgier, more violent. Was a little shocked at the trade package when it was first announced this summer that sent Akira Schmid and Holtz over to Vegas. But Paul Cotter is the definition of heavier, edgier, more violent. This man has 8 goals, 6 assists for 14 points through the 41 games played. 2 of his goals being game winners. And he is just a heavy, punishing guy. The definition of makes us more difficult to play against. This guy goes out there and lays the wood every shift. Leads the team in hits. I'll circle back on that a little bit later. But Paul Cotter, smashing everything in sight. Love this man. Hopefully he could pick it up offensively a little bit in the second half and he could regain some of that magic we saw in the first half. But great shot, great finishing touch. Love me some Paul Cotter and look for a big second half from him as well. And then we see number 11, Eric Hall, 41 games played, 5 goals, 6 assists for 11 points. Brendan Dillon, another heavier, edgier, more violent gentleman. Love me some Brendan Dillon. Throwback player, part of the revamped defense we've seen this season. Through 41 games played, he has 2 goals, 9 assists for 11 points. Jonathan Kovacevic, copy and paste what I just said about Brendan Dillon. Heavier, edgier, more violent. Fitzy stole this man for a 4th-round pick from Montreal. Everyone thought or had him slated to be a 7th defenseman, the depth guy in case of injury. And with the Pesce and Lukehughes injuries in camp, he seized his opportunity. Had a great camp, a great preseason, was on the plane to Prague for the Global Series, and there's been no looking back. Jonathan Kovacevic, a monster on the blue line, one of the best pairs league-wide with Jonas Siegenthaler. I believe he's helped the tremendous turnaround of Jonas Siegenthaler as well, and I am hoping this man is signed sooner than later. If he hits free agency in July, teams are going to be lined up to throw truckloads of money at him. A right-handed D-man, defensively sound, big-bodied. Love this guy. 41 games played for Kovacevic. 1 goal, 10 assists for 11 points. He is a plus 16. Jonathan Kovacevic, one of the Another, I would say, amazing addition by Fitz and a long line of them this offseason. Love to see it. 14 we see Tomas Tatar through 36 games played, 3 goals, 6 assists for 9 points. Hopefully he could have a bigger second half. The bottom 6 has been struggling, and we're going to need some more production out of them going forward. Number 15, Jonas Siegenthaler, 41 games played, 2 goals, 7 assists, 9 points, a +10. And again, one half of an amazing shutdown pairing with Jonathan Kovacevic. Number 16, Brett Pesce, 32 games played, 1 goal, 5 assists, 6 points. Part of the amazing turnaround we've seen with Luke Hughes is due to Brett Pesce. Number 17, Nathan Bastian, 23 games played, 2 goals, 3 assists for 5 points. Seamus Casey. Oh, Seamus Casey is still 18th, despite only playing 8 games. We saw some magic from him. 3 goals and an assist for 4 points. Love Seamus Casey. I think he is going to be a big part of this team in the future. We saw what he can do at his young age, and wow, what vision, skating, that absolute sniper of a shot. He has that beautiful toe drag. The sky's the limit for Seamus Casey. He's going to cook down in the AHL with Utica for a little bit, and I look for him to really make a case to somehow crack this lineup sooner than later. It's very tough with all the guys we have. We might have to make a move at some point in the offseason to make room for him. Who knows? A lot of question marks heading into the offseason, but I'm not worried about that right now. Justin Dowling playing 25 games when Lazar went down. 2 goals and assists for 3 points for Justin Dowling, and then Laser obviously injured for a large chunk of the season. 16 games played for him, 1 goal, 1 assist, 2 points. But so far, I am pretty happy with this New Jersey Devils club and the resurgence. And again, circling back to the defense, I mean, wow. This defense set an NHL record, guys. An NHL record. Just a couple weeks ago, they had a 7-game stretch where they only allowed 20 shots on goal or less to their opponents. I repeat, an NHL record, 7 consecutive games allowing 20 shots on goal or less. That is absolutely mind-blowing that this group was able to set that record, considering some of the amazing decors the NHL has seen in its history, that this group, Luke Hughes, Brett Pesce, Jonathan Kovacevic, Jonas Siegenthaler, Dougie Hamilton, Brendan Dillon, these 6 gentlemen were part of an NHL record run. 7 games, 20 shots on goal or less. Now, we went into the holiday break, came out, played the Hurricanes. Obviously, the Hurricanes take tons of shots. They're known for that, as Sheldon Keefe talked about in one of the post games, that the Hurricanes shoot from the parking lot. So we knew going into that home with the Hurricanes, it was going to be difficult to limit them to 20 shots. And unfortunately, in that first game at home, coming out of the holiday break, we got the win, but the Canes did get more than 20 shots on goal, and the streak ended. But hopefully that lockdown, stingy defense comes back very soon. The Devils were looking like a different team during that stretch. Obviously, clamping down defensively and being that defensively responsible, limiting the opposition to 20 shots or less, puts you in an amazing position to win hockey games. An amazing position. Hopefully, we see that defense come back very soon. Hopefully, they started off in San Jose for the next game, and we just see a group defensive effort where we limit their shots. Hopefully, we see some physicality again, heavier, edgier, more violent. Would like to see that pick up in a lot of these games. But circling back, Paul Cotter. How could I forget about Paul Cotter? Love me some Paul Cotter. We look at NHL hit leaders. Right now, Paul Cotter is 5th in the entire league with 138 hits. Now, he has played a couple, 2, 3, or 4 games more than all these guys. So some of them will leapfrog him when the games even out. But right now, he stands in 5th, and even when the games even out, he's going to be a top 10 guy in hits in this league. And again, going into this season, Fitz identified, obviously, goaltending was an issue. The defense was a little leaky, needed to tighten that up. But he also said, we need to be tougher to play against. We need to be heavier, edgier, more violent. Paul Cotter is a massive, massive part of the turnaround. Ecstatic to have him here. And I'm ecstatic for this team, guys. I am ecstatic for this team. It sucks to be going into the halfway point on a 3-game losing streak. Again, long season, tons of hockey to be played. Every team goes through this. Hopefully they snap out of it immediately. Let me know your thoughts on the New Jersey Devils through 41 games played. We are now at the halfway point. Let me know your thoughts. Any specific player things, anything with the team in general, throw it all out there. Anything, everything, New Jersey Devils hockey, throw it out there in the comments. I enjoy talking to all of you. Let me know what you thought about anything I'd mentioned in this video. Throw it all out there. But I'll be back soon working on a bunch of cool stuff, and I'm pumped to get going for the second half of the season as we make our push towards the playoffs. Super pumped, and that's it, guys. That is it. This team is much better than last season. I have high hopes. Why not us? I'll talk to you all soon. Thank you all so much for watching. I love you all. Like, comment, subscribe, and all that jazz. Until next time, friends, let's go.